Hey guys, I wanted to give you guys a top 12 of 2012 books. I actually did a 40 book challenge on Goodreads and I did it this last year. Yay, 2012. So I had tried a challenge 3 years in a row, failed miserably twice, and finally did it this year. So I just wanted to show you. I got my Goodreads up here. I'm going to name off what I read, and I'll tell you what. Then go back and quickly tell you what my 12 was. I read, and I'm going from well, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Woo! Let me do this. I will go from January 2012 to December 2012. So that's the reading order. So I read Out of Sight, Out of Mind by Allie Carter, and I'm in love with, there's the book. I'm in love with Allie Carter. She's awesome writer, awesome. I love her books. I'm a sucker for Disney movies and like Disney, not, well, I love the animated movies, but like I don't know, kind of cute family-oriented movies or whatever, and Hannah Montana kind of movies, that kind of stuff. Even Stevens, Lizzie McGuire, that kind of stuff. And Allie's writing reminds me so much of those kind of stories, and that's why I love them so much. So this is Gallagher Girls number 5, and her actual sixth one is coming out, and I don't know if it's this in 13 or 14. So read that one first, and then I read The War Horse, which I absolutely, if you guys have not seen the movie, go see the movie because it's amazing. And after I saw the movie, I read the book, and I love the book too. And I read City of Glass by Cassandra Clare, which actually that was a reread. So, of course, you guys know, I'm sure you know that cover. And then I read Leviathan series, which is amazing. If you haven't read, you should read. And that's Behemoth. That was book 2. And then I read Jessica Rules the Dark Side, which is by Beth Fantaschi, and the series is called Jessica. So that's book number 2. Jessica Rules the Dark Side. That was really good. And then I read The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, which was the first book in a series, and it's by Michelle Hodkin. So you guys all know that cover, I'm sure. It's not going to show real well. And then I read Blackbird. This is all anime. So I'm not going to show each cover, but I'll just show you. There's a bunch of those on here. It's called Blackbird. And you can find it on Goodreads, but it's good. It's an interesting story, but it's kind of weird. So I read many volumes of that. So that's what that is. And then I read book number 3 in the Leviathan series, which was called Goliath, and that is by Scott Westerfield. And this was my first Scott Westerfield series, and I loved it. And it's kind of steampunk, and you guys should not miss the Leviathan series. It is not given enough credit, definitely. It's not out there enough. I read the Morganville Vampires book 1, which is called Glass Houses. So there's the cover to it, if you can see that. And then more Blackbirds. I did Rotten Ruin, which is a series my husband really liked, so he told me to try it out. And it's called the Benny Amura series. So there's Rotten Ruin. It was good, but I felt like it was more of a series for guys. I think guys would like it. So I haven't went on with it, and I'm not real sure that I will. And then I read the Matched series, and book 2, which is called Crossed. I'm sure you guys have heard of that one. I like those books. And then I read the book Shatter Me, and I don't know how to pronounce the author's name, that's for sure. Chihira Mafi, but it's Shatter Me Book 1, so I read that. And I read City of Lost Souls, yay, by Cassandra Clare, and there is that one. So I read hers as soon as they come out, and I've probably got them read in a few days. I also read, because Angie really liked it, so she told me to read it, and she said to listen to the audio because it was really good. And it was good audio as far as there's sounds in the background and different voices. It's the Castor Chronicles, Book 1, Beautiful Creatures, and you guys know it's going to be a movie this year. Looking forward to checking out the movie, but I honestly wasn't that impressed with Beautiful Creatures. You can see my review on this channel. I also read by Holly Black. It was book 2 in the Curse Worker series, Red Glove, most horrible book cover in the world. And then I even hate saying this, that I bought into this to check it out to see what it was about. 50 Shades of Grey, which is the 50 Shades series, book 1 by E.L. James. The book completely sucked. The writing's horrible, and I'm going to do another video on that because I want people to know what I mean actually by the horrible writing. So the video will probably be a little comical because when I realized, I knew why I thought it was bad, but I didn't realize how many times this character says this certain thing, but I knew that it was said a lot, and I knew that it was horrible writing. So I'm going to show you guys how many times a certain comment is said, which is ridiculous. I read The Chaperone. This was, I think, the only adult book, well, besides 50 Shades of Grey, that I read, called The Chaperone. I love the cover. The writer is Laura Morardi, and I was, I saw it on Audible.com and got the audio, and it's a kind of a historical fiction from the 20s, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Underworld, the Abandoned Trilogy, that's book number 2. I gotta get going here. Bloody Jack, which you guys know absolutely that I loved, by L.A. Meyer. And then I have Bloody Jack, several of those, so I'll skip those for now. I read the Summer book, and I keep saying the Summer series, but it's not, it's just Summer. So like, this is The Summer I Turned Pretty, and this is called Summer number 1. There's actually 3 Summer books. Iron's Prophecy, which is a novella by Julie Kagawa, and that is book 4.5. And more Bloody Jacks. I read the Luck series, which was recommended by Lost in Lit. Check her channel out if you are not already a subscriber. There's the Lux, book number 1. Can't wait to get to them this year. Rumors is number 2. I can't wait. Let's see, more Bloody Jacks. Almost at the end here. I read Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I was so glad that I did. It was a different kind of read. I really enjoyed it, and it's Daughter of Smoke and Bone, book 1 by Laini Taylor. And then some more Bloody Jacks, because this year I'm on the 9th book of that. Here's another adult one, Eternal Seduction. A friend recommended that. It's vampire adult, and it was pretty good. I was impressed. And then Once Upon a Marigold, which I actually was recommended this because I liked Bloody Jack on audio on the audible.com, and it's a short story by Gene Ferris, and it was a fairy tale, and it was cool. The Delirium series, I think it's called, was book 1 was Delirium, and by Lauren Oliver, and I enjoyed that. I haven't did a review yet on that. And then Cabin Fever, which is Diary of the Wimpy Kid by Jeff Kinney, and it is book number 6. And so I'm excited to go to the last one, which is book number 7. Well, I don't know about the last book, but the last one out. Okay, so that's everything that I read for 2012. I'm out of time, so look for my very next video, and I will tell you my top 12 out of these 40 books. So thanks, guys, and thanks for watching. Happy reading.